Hi guys, it is Friday night, and tonight is the final episode of All Stars Season 4, and I was so excited to come home and watch this. So this is going to be really short, um, and so sit back and enjoy this review. So it starts off, Latrice has been eliminated from the competition, and the contestants are really excited to be in the top four. So we have Trinity, Monique Heart, Monet Exchange, and Naomi Smalls. And so for the finale, they have to learn choreography taught by Todrick Hall, and then write um, like six or seven or eight, maybe eight, verses to RuPaul's Super Queen, which is her new single. And so during the rehearsal for the choreography, Monique Heart, or no, not Monique Heart, Monet Exchange and Monique Heart, their names sound so similar, and I've been doing so good by not confusing them, and this is the first time. So Monet Exchange gets the choreography so fast, and that made me excited to just really kind of like fast forward through the episode and just see what she delivered. And so Trinity has like a rough start learning the choreo, but it seems like she's kind of like taking mental notes, and she's going to do really good. Monique Heart, she seems like she's stuck in her head with the choreo, that she kind of like, she gets it, she understands it, but she just can't deliver it. And then Naomi had the easiest choreo. And so literally the dancers at one point kind of like lift her up, and she does this kind of like legography in the air, and it's very pretty to watch, but it wasn't the most exciting part of the individual dance sequences for the choreo. And so they leave with great advice for Todrick. He says that, rehearse, rehearse, rehearse when you leave the stage. And so then we actually have a cute moment where Ru and Michelle invite the top four contestants to their podcast called What's the Tea? And my favorite moment from the podcast is actually when Ru and Michelle talk to Naomi. They tell Naomi that like she's comfortable being this like fierce fashion model queen, but she uses fierceness as a wall, and the wall is a defense, so people can't see her or really get to know the real Naomi. And so I really like that, because oftentimes, no matter who we are, we sometimes build up these walls so people can't get to us. And that's a really important lesson for people within the LGBTQ plus community, that because we have to deal with kind of like all of these things like homophobia, racism, within the mainstream community, racism within the gay community, homelessness, lack of resources, that we learn to build up walls to prevent people from getting to know the you of you, or the me of me. And so I really liked that moment that they had with Naomi, and actually wanted to talk about Naomi in the choreography session with Todrick Hall. That I thought it was hilarious that she was kind of distracted by the dancer. And so, side story, so that dancer was originally in a group called Barbie's Addiction, and they would perform at Mickey's in West Hollywood. And so it was the black guy, and two other dancers who I think are white, but I'm not sure. And so they would go around West Hollywood and kind of like perform in this very gender fluid costumes, and would do these incredible choreo routines that I really loved and was really impressed with. So the black guy actually left the group, and then Barbie's Addiction went on to perform at one of the live tapings of the finale of Drag Race. I think it was maybe season 6 or 7. And then they went on to perform alongside T.S. Madison in one of her music videos. But then the other person in the group left, and now Barbie's Addiction performs as a drag queen in West Hollywood as an individual. So, okay, end of that story. And so I really, back to the podcast. And so then we hear from the other contestants, Trinity, and you can really feel that Ru and Michelle respect and love Trinity. You can hear it in their conversation. They both tell Trinity that, you know, she's a star, she's really made it, and she has this ability to leave this this feeling within people when she performs on stage. And so that kind of like that made me think that I knew where they were going for their decision for the top 2 performances and who they would select. And so then we had Monique, and Monique Heart really tells us that ministry is something that is in her her repertoire in terms of characters that she can pull from to use on the road. And because she was in the ministry, and that she used to weigh 300 pounds as like a minister for an ex-gay ministry. And I did not know that, and that was actually interesting to find out. So fast forward, we go back into the workroom, and Alaska, Trixie, and Chad Michaels are waiting for the queen, and they like play this trick on the queens, and they say that they're going to judge who the winner is going to be, and that was a cute moment. And so we learn that the song, it actually sounded live, so but maybe it was recorded to sound live, that they were going to perform with the other queens on stage. And so fast forward to the performance, we have Monet Exchange, who opens up the finale performance, and the dancers spin her around in a chair, and the first lyric from her verse is, "She is here to set the bar," and that's what she did exactly. She set the bar. The choreo was flawless. She didn't make a single error. It seemed like she had performed or rehearsed this song for months, because she knew all of the words, she knew all of the choreo, and so I was really impressed with her. And I loved her superhero costume. It was very Wakanda, and I loved it. Then we had Monique Heart. The verses really didn't go with the song, and actually wasn't a fan of the costume. It was just like this black sequin costume number. But I was excited that there was not a moment of chronic wig loss. And so she used Elmer's, and so I appreciated that. So I was really excited for her. I was actually screaming at the TV when it happened. Also, we get Naomi. Naomi probably had the worst lyrics out of all of them. it was just really about her. It had nothing to do with the Super Queen. It made no sense. She looked great. This is probably the most clothing she's had on all season. It was like a full cat suit. Then we have Trinity. Trinity lyrics were kind of tragic, but the costume was beautiful. She had on these gladiator silver boots that went actually above her knee, that were really beautiful. Then she had this kind of like swimsuit that it almost looked like crushed glass with so much kind of like glitter and embellishments, and this really cool cinched belt that went with it. And then she had this really cool crown headpiece on top. And I loved, there was a moment where the dancers brought her this cape, and they attached the cape with like this embellishment that was of a similar construction to her crown. And so then she was able to kind of like twirl about, and then the dancers also had capes, and they were twirling about in this smoke on the stage. And it was really kind of like visual cocaine. Like, so Trinity and, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. What is her name? Monet Exchange. Like, the Monet and the Monique are now getting to me. So Trinity and Monet Exchange really sold their performances, and I loved it. I also loved Ru's gown. It was this body-hugging silver sequin gown that was gorgeous. Her wig was a little was pushed back too far, but other than that, she looked gorgeous. And then I thought it was odd that all of the contestants were told to change, and it was cute because they all had on like matching outfits to an extent. So they would have really made a really cute girl group. But Ru announces early on that Monet and Trinity are the top two. And so the other two contestants go to the back of the stage, and they perform to Christina Aguilera, Fighter. And so this was a interesting song because it's an upbeat song, and I kind of figured that Trinity would have the upper hand over Monet Exchange with this song. It seems like something that Monet probably has never performed in her life. And since Trinity has been performing over 15 years, she's probably performed this song a number of times in her career. And so going into the lip sync, Trinity definitely is overshadowing Monet. Monet is trying to do this kind of like almost what she did with like that Judy Garland lip sync, where she's trying to give this commanding performance through the nuances of her facial gestures and her hand movements. But with a song like this, you really need to kind of like go deep into what you've learned as a drag queen and what you've learned through movement and certain stunts in order to create this electrifying performance. And Trinity was giving me that. Monet was not giving me that. Monet had some cute moments where she has on the little short kitty girl wig, and she takes it off to reveal another one. And then just her legendary split that she does, that's absolutely incredible to watch. But then I felt like we lost Trinity, where she tried to do a cartwheel and it was not executed well. And so then it was kind of like it was this even playing field between both of them. And so there wasn't a clear winner. And so I think everyone in America gagged when Rue revealed that both of them were the winners of All Stars. I definitely was not expecting that at all. And so that was actually a really good surprise because I know that I think it was with Raja's season. Raja was season 3, and it was leaked that Raja was going to win. And so after that, they started taping the show live, and each of the contestants would be taped winning. And so no one would know who the actual winner was. And so it's pretty cool that Monet and Trinity get to enjoy this moment together. And so I'm really proud of both of them. Monet especially. Monet is now the first Black All-Star. And so that's amazing. But I'm also excited for Naomi and Monique Heart. I actually really want to see Naomi perform. If she's coming to California, I will definitely travel to whatever city that she's in because I want to see her. And so this is the end of All Star Season 4. Please let me know your thoughts. Do you think that both of them should have won? Do you think Trinity should have won? Do you think that Monet should have won? Were you guys as shocked as I was, or did you read the spoilers and it ruined it for you? I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you for season 11 of Drag Race. Have a good night, guys. Besos.